Good evening. We have game into Kassai. Don't know if there's anything I really need specifically for her. I think this is all pretty good. There is a temptation. I'm going to run these. I'm going to put these in. Oasis isn't for everyone, but it is effectively yet another D-React, which is fairly nice if they're going for some stuff. Okay, so that's fine. Can't attack with weapons. Get an Everbloom played, and there is really no point doing anything else. I don't think I want to Arsenal anything, it's all a bit rubbish, unfortunately. Feels bad to not Arsenal anything on turn one, but you know, I could have put a big hit in there, I guess, but then I've got to actually throw the big hit, and we're not about that. They are fat decking there, so there is going to be some amount of trading. Could have just gone for a Dominate Glacial, I guess, to start, but I can read it over here and continue letting them play. I can never remember which for warrior attacks. They're all +3 and then something. +3 and go again. Okay. And then comes the question of, do we let them just chip ones? That is probably absolutely fine. Rampart doing work this time. Look at this, just perfect. It's this saber, isn't it? Could really do with just being able to target the one on the stack. Let's go Coronet Peak. We're especially going for Peak in this because they have Dynamo and you just kind of get low value. And they are fat decking this, so we know what they're going to try and go for overall. We have a Quake. We could put this to them. I think we do. There'll be a lot of activating Rampart. So we're keeping the hat because we're going to use that on my next turn, obviously. We'll risk it. We could have used it to overblock, but I think spreading out is good. This is still fine. So that's going to hit me for 2. We're fine with that. Maybe we do start swinging the hammer. It's a really hard call. Because taking cards off them is really good, but also bonk. I'll give my hammer this turn, see where we get. I want my life to be ever so slightly lower than for things like heart. Obviously, I don't want to drag their life total down loads. So we've got Tunic, which means this rampart's going to be lovely this turn. Yep, so they're going to come in with that. Is it? It's just the next time one hits, right? Yeah. 6 is such an annoying number as well. The question of do I give them the a tick of the gloves? I think we do. You can stay on top. We like boulder drop. And that one's for 3. Yep. They get +1, I need to do something. Need to put the rampart in as well. These are all going to be long games. This, you know, Jarl can box to a degree, but you don't really want to. You know, you only want to trade when you've got something worth trading with, and you know, you're dealing with, like, you know, Kassai's got a lot of block amongst her gear, and very little reason to do much. You know, I don't want to commit to an aggro plan against her and her not fatigue with her 60 card deck, basically. So we just want to wear her down a bit. You know, we've got things like this Oakenhold we can keep in deck. We can, you know, we can do a lot as we go. Probably going to take 1 from the Sabre this turn, I would think. maybe not. We'll just give her the fate for scene. That would be fine. So we're being very deliberate here because this is the closest we can get to sort of the Crown of Seeds place where you put your good stuff in. We leave this on top because of what I pitched the turn ago. I would want to break up my Oakenhold and a card. I mean, I might shuffle my deck before I get to them. There is a possibility, but you know, I ideally don't want to. The C&C's fun. Don't at all mind being hit by one of them. Okay. We like the boulder drops basically, so they force cards, pure and simple. You know, they can use the dynamo, but they have to put a card to it, and then they'll still take, you know, some solid damage. Yeah, you know, we're fine with that. A couple of damage. Okay, so this is every time, yeah, first time a weapon hits, get a gold, yeah. Let's see where we're at. So 8 and then another one. So what gets weird here is basically when you start committing stuff like this, you start doing things like this, you know. Keeping the sigil seems like a good choice, but the block is worth more. The card in the deck is worth more, and I don't need the life at this point because she's not a crashing fast aggro deck. You know, just sitting and being a pain and denying her is more important to me. You know, she was fat decking, she's already nearly behind on deck. You know, that's just a big deal to me. You know, denied her everything there. You know, I hope this turn would be to deny her again and get that sink below into arsenal, ready for next time she tries shenanigans. Like, having a D-react in pocket's really nice. I would like to go back to having one. Oh, God bless you, and you're nourishing an emptiness. We like it. And the question there is, do we hand over a piece of equipment? I think we probably do. The flexes isn't super important in this matchup, I think. So I'll be handing them that. I'd love to have been able to block with the fiddlers, but you know, not on the cards. I don't really want to pitch it away. You know, being IP'd is fine. You know, it's not like I took damage for it. Coming in for 5. Much as I love boulder drop, we don't have time. Oh, that's going to do that, isn't it? Hang on. Oh, we do have to do something. Let's go this. We're getting a lot of that from them, aren't we? And then they're coming in for 4. They're coming in for 5. We keep forgetting how that works. This is fine though. We can we'll do this. Do we even need to put that in? No, we don't. It's this saber. I don't know if I can just click the one on the far right or not. I'm always a bit confused by that. Okay, so I mean, I feel like I'm just going to boulder drop them. Can't think of a reason not to. The only regret I've had in this game so far is that I really would have liked to have using that frozen to death that I pitched earlier. I know I blocked one out, I pitched another, there's another one in there. I really want to try and retain one of those as this game goes on because it's going to matter a lot. I'd love to rip some of this gear off them as we go, just because it's mostly the dynamo, right? Just they get value from it. So we have Kassai on the go, we have Spoils of War on the go, we have a big swing coming. And they're still slightly ahead on cards, even though they were fat decking, but that's fine. We can absolutely live with that. The real annoyance here is blocking this, but it's not the biggest problem because we can do this. This is perfectly acceptable. I'm going to pitch the Everbloom because we want them in the deck for later, so I don't want to be forced to block it like I might have to with this crumble. Yeah, I mean, they're going to get a hit for sure this turn. I just want to conserve as much life as possible so they can have everything. And they'll get a gold and 2 copper, I think it is here. Nothing much I can do about it. Big turn. And there's some D-reacts, so that's good. She's still got more deck than me, but it's not really about that I care. I just care about us basically roughly running out of deck at the same time, and my deck will just do stuff. These nourishings are very nice on their part. I don't really want to give them the gauntlets. The gauntlets are really going to be handy at some point in this game. But I'm going to have to use up 2 cards if I want to block it like this. I think that's fine though, we just live with that. Because if I give them 2 cards, I give them the coronet, and I don't want to yield the coronet yet. Ooh, that's nice. It's going to be spicy. This is a weird deck. I've never seen a Pummel Nourishing Aaron's Emptiness coming out. Why is that in my hand? Oops. Oh. That's in my hand because I clicked for the sync below. I didn't press space. Oh, fuck. Give them a sorry. I think they thought I was cheating because I'd seen the wrong card. It was, you know, genuine misclick here because I'm just trying to empty my hand for this pummel. Yeah, I've technically seen a card ahead, right? But like, I'm literally not going to use that card on that turn. You know, I was full committing my hand. See, there's the mangle though. The mangle's what I wanted to see because the mangle can do a lot of work. I want to get it to Arsenal and then wait. I now have people to smash as well. We need to get them killed. But they have a big hand this turn as well, so you know we're gonna have to eat everything we can eat. These come in for 3, don't they? Get the rampart in. Just accept everything else that's coming to me, to be honest, because we don't want to block these sabres with this hand if we can help it. It's going to be some very big swords and then those cell swords. So next sword gets +4, so that's in for 7 basically, which is just a nightmare. Because blocking 7's just a pain with this hand, especially because I need to bonk one of those. So I've got to keep the fruits. I think they just get the free gold token, much as I don't like it. Yeah. So that is what it is. Not much we can do about it. Because you know, I could feed them my whole hand and I just really do not want to. You know, pure and simple. And now we wait until we can mangle them. Oh, if it's CNC Pummel again, I'll be so proud of them, if I'm honest. I didn't want to take the hit if I didn't have to, because I don't need to swing at them for any reason. You know, again, I'd prefer the IP penalty than the getting pummeled. So we've found Remembrance, but I'm not sure there's enough stuff I want back from the bin yet. So we're probably going to pitch this. We're going to take the 1 because there's no effects on deck at the moment. And if there are effects on deck, we can use the Oasis. Is this it? There's a pulse, so I'm going to try and keep a 2-card hand here. I would love to keep a 3-card hand. I'd love to keep that frozen to death as well, because it would be very helpful after the mangle. The alternative is to just try and do the frozen to death, but that requires keeping 3 in 1 turn, and that's, again, both of these are difficult. But I've got a lot of life, you know. I have got breathing room to force one of these, and I would not mind taking something off them. That gets interesting. Because I do want that mangle. That's roughly what I want to do. I'm just trying to work out the best way of doing it. If I give them the peak, we could do that. Let's do that. That's not bad, and then we're going to rock the life totals hopefully with this mangle. I think it's worth losing the hat, and I'm not using it much into her. Ooh, with the good blocks. Yes, very good blocks. Worth a try. We do have a second mangle though. It gets exciting now. I'm not going to be able to catch this dynamo out is the problem. This is both mangles in the deck, so I'm tempted to... the 8 is bad. I don't think I want to trade the mangle for not taking 8. Could keep it, but just going to full block it. The important thing is just running them out of ways to buff the sabres, and then I'll win. That's the simple description here. Do I take 3? Yeah, I'm going to take this because I want this in my arsenal. Or I could use it on that. Both good. I will use it on this, but that's more efficient anyway. As I say, I'm trying not to use the Titan Fist very heavily because I'd rather prevent damage than deal damage. Them having a high life total means I can play with a high life total. And yeah, they're currently just burning cards from their deck, which is good. This is very much where I want to be. And I've got an arsenal, I've got my heart back, so we now know we're through the deck. But this is where the fatigue's really going to set in, right? Because, like, they're going to burn the rest of their deck against whatever I can block with, and I'm going to be sat with, 3 points of life gain a turn, which will see off the sabres. They physically can't grind me out with that. I'm going to use this up rather than pitching the heart here, just because I can always pitch the heart later and I don't mind if I've wasted the resource. But give them that again. matters how I do this, does it? That's fine. No need to pay for that, so I won't. Do I pitch this? I think we do. Just means I go through the deck again faster, and that's all I care about here. I knew that the Oaken would get split up from it when I saw that. I was like, I could hold it, but I don't want to Oaken them. That's kind of the weird situation we're in, right? Might want to Frozen to Death them, but I'm not that fast. I would like to take those Braze Forges away, but, you know, it's looking fairly difficult to manage. I really want them to close the chain on this, but they're not going to, I don't think. So they've still got more deck than me, but as I say, I don't think I care. I'm on 32 and I'm nearly into the Everbloom cycle, which is where I am very much feeling confident they will burn themselves out. So they've done Kassai, right? Yeah, so they're going to get gold from this, which we don't want. Is there any point preventing that hit? I think they just get a gold at that level. And then that one's 8. It's an annoying number, because obviously it becomes 9 off what I can block with, but we've got the shelter. I could feed them the Everbloom, because I have got one way of getting it back, and that's fine. So So I think we do that for 4. I don't really want to do the hammer if I'm honest, but I've got nothing else to do and I don't want to arsenal the glacial. So we're round to the remembrance. I would really like to play that frozen to death here. And I will mind. Because I don't need to remembrance yet. What have I done here? Have I just accidentally... There we go. It's bugging out on me is what it's doing. I clicked that at the wrong time and it decided it was having none of it. I'm going to see if I can just take the hits this turn. Because they've not activated anything. They get a bit of copper to go with their gold. I'm fine with all of this. Oh, this is absolutely fine, right? They've got very little off. I get to do this now. And this is the one we care about. I mean, I could arsenal that. That is not the worst card to go in arsenal. Because it does something. But yeah, with the arms gone, I feel in a much nicer place because they now don't have a way to pump the sabres up for positive damage. So once they're out of deck, they're out of deck now, and it's just a walk towards that. Let's just be very annoying to the turn. And then they're coming in for 2. But she's finally got some copper. She does eventually make a load of friends, so maybe I should have blocked that better. I didn't realise it was 2. I could have easily thrown a card and I wouldn't have minded. It's a bit of a... One of my big mistakes on Talishar is often things like, you know, running into that because I'm not noticing the things. You know, it is what it is. And round we go again with the hat. Got another frozen to death, but I'm pretty sure we're blocking out at this point. I don't really care about the other gear. Yeah, there's 2 Evolute Blooms in the bin, so we need to shuffle some stuff in. That's next turn, I believe, which is fine. Also gives a 50-50 of getting the heart back a turn earlier. I mean, that's fun. I'll just take 6. They get a really big hand, but I don't think I care. These guys are annoying, for sure. But we can have words with them. The cell sorter can do a lot of work. Like, you know, my life total just plummeted there, but I think we're fine. I don't care about their life total. let's get this done. We're putting an Everbloom back, and honestly probably just blocks, right? We want the Frozen to Death, that's fine. We just want non-attack ones to maximise what's what. Cool, got the heart again. They're running low on deck, and I just need to get rid of the cell swords. That's where we're at here. Do not want to give them that Everbloom. Do not mind giving them like everything else though. One cell sort to go, and then I'm going to be kind of stable again. This is a good turn because I can just block like a crazy person. I'm going to give them the gauntlets here because why not? If I thought I could get through with that, I'd be very happy. But they've got armour left, so it's never going to happen. I just do not want to arsenal things because there's no need. You know, we're on to the very end of this fatigue now. Yeah, they are now finally behind me on cards. A lot of their cards don't do anything. And I'm just waiting them out. As I mentioned earlier, these are all going to be long, slow videos. I'm gonna throw that. getting those big rampart benefits. Okay, so we could play this Frozen to Death and take more gear off them. That is tempting, honestly. It's a good cycling of stuff. Does cost me a life. You see, I'd love to get the dynamo, but that's not going to happen. I think we need to start playing this though, that's the problem. I don't think we have time to do that. They've got loads of life as well, so we can absolutely come in with this. We'll start our work of chipping them. A mere 27 turns into them fast stacking. Yeah, it's the right move for them, I think, but their problem is that I'm just trying to get these cards worn down a bit so that I know they're not able to just kill me. And at that point, I don't care what they do. You know, we are just working on that. I'm ignoring a sabre every turn. I'm not sure if they can do more than one sabre every turn. Light is feeling like they can't now. I don't know if they've got anything more explosive to do, but this feels like it might be the end of it. We're on to the Everbloom cycle. Do that. I'm going to put this Tear Asunder down. Because I do actually want to thin this deck out now, finally. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to click the thing, guy. Yes, thanks. Kassai, thanks. There's thanks. Just get it in here. Is this it though? Are they out of go again? Are we now just on that? Right, so if I play Tear Asunder, I can get +1 on Dominate, so I can go up to 5 Dominate. That will run through gear at least. Oh, there's a Dynamo though as well. I could just Frozen to Death that Dynamo. That's really tempting. Let's do that. Hang on. Let's do that. That's a nice turn. Is that honestly it from them? Because that's going to get awkward. This is fun. Right, deck's correctly thinned. I need this box to be bigger. Are they going to make me play out the whole thing? This is the other interesting question. So they've got to go again on this one. That's very nice for them. I don't need this in my deck. Yeah, it just doesn't matter how I do this, does it? Didn't just misclick that. No, that's still fine. I suspect this is never coming out of Arsenal now. And then he says that, and then they give me an opportunity for the Terra Sunder. So I retract everything I say. Let's go. Is that a deep react in your arsenal? Oh, it is. God bless them. I like it. I mean, I love that we're doing the whole game. Most people scoop at this point because there's very little way out. Like, I'm pretty sure they are fatigued, and I think we're just going to be walking this the whole way along. But, you know, I'm willing. The gold's phone. I mean, you know, kudos to you, El Macho. You are playing out the full, what, like 40 turns? And I love you for it. Good game, mate. Good game. I'm proud of you. Yeah, down to 3 gems and a pummel. We love that. Love that indeed. So, thank you to anyone who just sat through 66 minutes of this. That's how you grind out a warrior. I will see you in the next one.